There's your weekly key reversal. And I don't know, does this thing have any room to move back up? We talk about W's on other sides of trend lines. So, there's your primary trend line. We're well beyond that. I don't know. Does a weekly key reversal count as bullish market structure? Maybe. This is a really good lesson for all the level oneers. The max pain event for shareholders. They just went and rolled this thing back 10 for 1. Kaboom! But now there's only like 17 million shares out on this thing. So that's like, holy moly. If I can get any kind of justification to buy this thing, definitely would be interested in pulling the trigger. Somebody did recently ask about, things like plug power and stuff. And I'm kind of like, I don't know whether I really wanted to buy just yet. Actually, it's interesting. You saw how there was some writing. Oh, there it is up there. We did some analysis of this, and I wouldn't be surprised. We're sort of somewhere along here right now, relatively speaking. I still think that there's going to be some sort of dump into the fall. And you notice how long this took to go from peak to ultimate trough. I would like to see a W that looks something along these lines, very well defined grade 3 English teachers like those kind of W's, etc. So we'll see what happens. And there's always these sort of fits and starts. Are we at a bottom yet or not? So I would say, relatively speaking, on these alternative fuel stocks, we're getting pretty close, but probably sort of in that process. Like if we just counted backwards and we went, say, from there to where are we? That's 26 days. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, 126. Beg your pardon. If this cycle was the same, then that means we are here somewhere like right here. Maybe we're making one of these little sort of stab bottoms. All right, this is a bottom, but there's still further to go to the downside. So ironically enough, after the fact, sort of the bottoming window, you might even find that these kind of levels, looking back in hindsight, I suppose you could even make the argument like there is the sexy double bottom that I was talking about, the big fat W's. There's another one right there. So you can see these are these levels there and there. Something like that. So in that window, in this case, it's $1.29 to $1.70. And right now we're sitting at about $1.80, maybe $1.90, maybe even $2 kind of respectively. So we're pretty close to that bottom. And then, it's going to take a long time for this thing to base out. There will be a dead cat bounce off of the lows. You might be able to get like a nice little double out of that. With that said, I don't necessarily want to go apeshit bullish on this just yet. I would expect, and also too, we talked about September, October, panic dump lows somewhere in that area. I don't know where it's going to be, but if it was exactly the same as the previous one, it would be there. The fact that these guys have gone and rolled their stock back, right? And actually here, if we use plug and we just assume that, okay, maybe these are going to be the same cycles. So if I copy that and let's go back to Westport. Interesting. So that means this thing should bottom actually somewhere around that November, actually late November, early December. And I kind of like that too, because there should be tax loss selling into that November, December window there. Let's keep an eye on this guy going forward. And I wouldn't mind investing in these companies. I just think it's like, we're probably about 6 months early on all this stuff. Also too, big shout out to the screener. You don't see this every day, folks. If you really want to learn how to trade and make money from trading, ironically enough, this name is probably not very popular in the world. And I'm not even quite sure what the fundamental drivers are going to be here on this thing. Really, really great anecdote. If Sjord could get that key reversal screener up and running and we just automatically take these trades. I don't know whether you guys saw, but the weekly key reversals in the NASDAQ were just killing it. I think they're old signals now. You can't go and buy them now. Now we have a daily bullish key reversal on this Best Buy down in the States. And then remember a week or two ago, right, we had a weekly, look at that. And you actually got a double signal. That's how much the market that we like this signal at TRI. We're getting a double signal here. I double dog dare you. So interesting to see that Best Buy keeps coming up. And, it's funny because I'm not really that enthusiastic about tech stocks, but Best Buy is more like a retail name than anything else. And I thought it was fascinating. I mean, there's the damn chart. So there's your weekly key reversal. And I don't know, does this thing have any room to move back up? We talk about W's on other sides of trend lines. So, there's your primary trend line. We're well beyond that. I don't know. Does a weekly key reversal count as bullish market structure? Maybe. This one is interesting. And David even pointed out that basically this could very easily be a massive megaphone. And if that's the case, then what's sort of the midpoint of the megaphone? This is always sort of open to interpretation. And the feeling it is sort of right along this line somewhere here. I don't think it's that low. That would be too far down. But against that level, that actually looks pretty midpoint. So it is interesting. This is a hugely significant level for the market here. And we put in the weekly outside upside reversal bar. And then, as I said, and this is surprising, you don't see this every day. On top of that weekly reversal bar, there's a daily key reversal. Damn. I got to go and eat my own cooking. I couldn't believe when I saw that. I was like, I got to buy some of this. That's just killing me to see that. So anyway, good to see that the system is consistent. I've been a big fan of key reversals since I learned them years and years and years ago. And go look at the performance. Quite remarkable how well the key reversal signals are doing here. I suppose on the other side of it, and actually this is interesting. Look how we have Kroger here. Kroger would be like a grocery store chain down in the States, if I'm not mistaken. I did see this news article here today. Investors go cold on food stocks. It's interesting. Joshua was here earlier. He had an idea of buying this little company called Farm, which I think was a proxy on food stocks. And yeah, it didn't do very well. And what the hell? I mean, it's just the market. Live by the sword, die by the sword, as they say. I don't know. I think this is more a proxy on grocery stores are good sort of contrarian plays. If you're thinking that it's the end of the world, a lot of people will go and park their money in grocery stores because, maybe you don't need the Lambo, but you always need your cat food to eat. So cat food vendors usually do well. Is that the key reversal bar? Wow, is that ever ugly, eh? Boom. I don't know whether I could take that trade or not, but I do think that it does validate what the system is saying with regard to food stocks and the like. This is a really, really negative message. And also, too, I think we should really pay attention to what this sort of the message of the market is. Now, it's the end of, it's June. This is the last month of this quarter. So I don't know whether first 2 weeks studies really come into play here. I think, if consumer staples would be sort of that food category, and grocery stores definitely fall into that camp. Of course, we've seen technology and communication services and all that kind of stuff just going absolutely crazy here recently. And if these guys are heavily on the outs, then what that means is the economy is more over here than it is over here. So that is an interesting proxy on the market itself, seeing things like the grocery stores putting out huge outside downside reversals.